We're starting off with some breaking news. An update. Alexandria Police are investigating a homicide that happened just before 7 p.m. on Tuesday.
Yeah, Colin Vidros joins us in the studio with the latest information. Colin, is there any reason there was a heavy police presence at the Sanctuary Apartments last night?
Joanna Bennett, yes, it does appear that way. Police are investigating in the 1300 block of Enterprise Road, which is where the Sanctuary on Enterprise apartment complex is located. Let's talk about what we know so far. Alexandria Police say they found 21-year-old Anthony Bell of Alexandria at the scene. He died from an apparent gunshot wound. Now, you may recall hearing the name Sanctuary Apartments in the news before. That's because there have been several investigations at Sanctuary Apartments in recent years, including a deadly shooting in 2021, a kidnapping incident in 2022, and a fire that displaced 20 people last year. However, that was at the Sanctuary Apartments that is on Lakeside, whereas this homicide investigation is at the Sanctuary Apartments on Enterprise. Now, Alexandria Police say their investigation is still ongoing. They have not shared yet any information on the possible suspect or suspects in connection to this deadly incident. We have reached out to APD to find out more, but have yet to hear back. You can stay with News Channel 5 on air and online as we continue our coverage of this breaking news story. Joanna Bennett, back to you.